Well, back in the day when we were raising a few cows, we would buy a mineral protein tub like this that the cows would lick on to increase their nutrient intake. So I have a number of these that are left over and they kind of get curled over because of the sun. So I'm actually going to take and just cut the bottom out of this and try to save this inner circle. This is the swivel hook that I used to unwind my barbed wire with, as I would carry it on the sling on the back of this four-wheeler, it would just unwind. Well, I broke one of the hooks off of it, so that's why I remade this little two-wheel dolly that'll carry my spool. So my little two-wheel dolly is just going to hook up to the back of my four-wheeler, like so. And if everything works according to plan, I got to open this up just a little bit here. Kind of on the tight side. There. So as I go along, it should just unwind. Well, it's pretty windy up here. I don't know how that's going to affect this mic, but I had partial roll left off of my last 3 strands, so I'm going to run it out and then I'll switch over to my new roll, splice it in, and that should finish out my last 2 strands. I'm just going to carry this along with me. Gotta run this out. Probably about there. Doesn't really like this last little bit, does it? Yeah, I'll run that out by hand. I'm gonna need my fencing pliers here. So I split these 2 strands. I'm gonna go one direction. The other one's going to come in the opposite direction. And the same with the other side. So that came that way, I got to go the opposite direction. There's a splice that'll never come apart. Take however much pull you can put on it. And we'll stretch it out. I'm going to get this 4th strand kind of tied off, but I'm not going to put it under tension yet. I'm going to go show you what I did on my top 3. I have the top 2 about where I want, show you where I got to put a little more tension on this number 3 strand. Well, on this stretch that I'm sticking in, you can see I got a dip here pretty strong, and then kind of a crown and another dip and another crown. So where I'm real low, my wires right now are real high. You can see we're headed into a dip here. Now this is my first wire. I put some tension on it, and then what I did was go up here to this low tie, which is at the bottom of my draw here, and just made sure that this will come down to that tie where I want. And when I bring that down, it's going to increase the tension. But when I bring it down there, it'll be pretty fair. So I use that one as my top gauge for tension. So as I'm setting my other wires in, I want to put about equal space. So you see I'm pretty close on my top tube, but my third wire is saggy a little bit, so I need to increase the tension on it a little bit more. And then when I do my 4th strand, which is way down here, I'll tension it up to where these strands are about in this position, and that will be equalizing the tension on my strands. And then every time I hump a crown, I'll take and clip the wire to that high spot post, and then it's going to go down to the next crown. Well, I'm not putting my wire on my posts as they go down, just on the high spots. So when I get all my tension equalized, and then I bring my wire down to my low posts, that's actually going to increase the tension, but it'll keep them all the same. These are my top 2. I brought my 3rd wire up. I'm pretty close where it needs to be. My 4th wire is just a foot off the ground. I'll bring it up to where it's right in here somewhere. Well, I got company that showed up. Down a little further, here's our heifer that had a baby heifer. This little heifer was supposed to be open, that's why I got her, and 2 days ago she had a calf. I got my 4th one right in there pretty close. She's gonna be about the same. I'm gonna do a 5 strand, so I'll put one more wire and have it setting about here. Then I'll go ahead and mount them all to the posts. Oh, as I walk along, I think you can see we got all 5 strands up, fairly close spacing. This is going back up the other side of the draw. I don't have any clips on these posts yet. They're all just hanging free, pretty equally spaced. So this is the top of one crown. I have the wires clipped to that post. So that's the first post. And then we are free again. None of these wires are attached to the posts yet. So we're going down through another little draw. And through all of this, we're staying pretty equally spaced. We're headed back up another shallow little draw. And then this is the crest of another little crown. I have my wires attached to that post. And then from here to the end brace, we're hanging free. I notice as I'm walking back into the sun, it might actually show this wire a little more in the reflection. You see they stay pretty equal through this draw where nothing is attached. So this is the deepest draw.
where I have the railroad tie set. It was actually set before in the old fence. You see my wires are pretty equal. So this is my deepest point, my deepest draw. So I'll take and start here first. I'll bring my wires down, put them in position. I still have holes here where the old wires were. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I may not use those measurements, but I'll take the deepest first, and then I go to the next, and then I bring up the crowns and kind of make this wire flow with the contour of the train. So this isn't really meant to be a lecture or a school on how to hang fence. It's just how I do it. I do start with the top because that's what preloads and puts tension on all the end braces. It sets all those joints tight, and then I work down. But it's kind of like, I think, potato salad. Everybody makes it a little bit different. Some like it this way, some like it that, and some don't like somebody else's potato salad. Of course, my wife makes the best, but so there's lots of different ways to build fence. This is just how I do it, to try to equalize the tension, and then I attach it to the post afterwards. So such as it is, that's how I do it. Appreciate you following along. So this is the downhill side and a lot of pressure up. I'm going to double staple. I don't set them tight. I don't like to crimp them in. A little loose so they can move. As I set the rest of the fence, they can all adjust. Go from there.